Idea Home About Join. Wakanda 1 affiliates keynote speaker projects donate. COVID-19 Africa. Our history. Pre-colonial Africa. The Berlin Conference of 1885 saw a once powerful Africa with well-established educational and religious systems, chopped up like a piece of pie into some of the smallest economies we see in Africa today. Economies that clearly cannot survive on their own. This was all by design in order to divide and conquer Africa and leave it a truly defeated and dominated continent. Join the movement. 1964. Our Pan-African leaders of the time, in their efforts to reverse the damage done by the Berlin Conference, met and created the OAU, Organization of African Unity. During this formative meeting, Kwame Nkrumah declared Africa was for the Africans and African Union was now. Those words were as relevant then as they are today. Kwame Nkrumah also declared during this meeting that you are not Africa because you were born in Africa, but that you are African because Africa is born in you. 1964 Formation of OAU, Organization of African Unity, now the AU African Union, to chart the way forward in reuniting and restoring the continent. In 2002, OAU was renamed AU. Our African heads of state meet twice a year to discuss issues pivotal to our beloved continent. The African leaders have now declared all people of African descent living outside Africa as the African Diaspora 6th region. The African leaders have created their own yardstick to uniformly measure developmental programs in their countries. This yardstick is called Agenda 2063. It summarizes 7 aspirations of the African people, aspirations which, if met, would see an Africa which is a strong player on the world stage. Unanimously our African leaders are calling on all people of African descent, the African diaspora, to come back home and participate in building the Africa we want. Mandate of the African Union Mission in Washington, D.C. to mobilize and galvanize the African diaspora in the Americas to participate in the development of Africa. To promote Africa in the Americas, who are the targeted African diaspora, all people of African descent living outside Africa. Descendants of those who left Africa in shackles as well as those who left in search of greener pastures. The challenge. Brain drain out of Africa. The brain drain out of Africa of the past decade has left a capacity void that is keeping African countries from taking Africa to its rightful place on the world stage. That capacity is in the diaspora. The challenge is how to reverse the brain drain. The solution. Reverse brain drain back to Africa. The African Union Mission in Washington, D.C. has come up with ways of thinking outside the box and create an environment that will pave the way for the African diaspora to return home and effectively participate in the building of the Africa we want. The building of the African Centers of Excellence. Wakanda 1 is one such program. The plan is to build five centers, one in each region. The Center of Excellence will serve as a growth point for each region with downstream development in the rest of the region. Our African leaders recognize that for true change to come to Africa, it must include all its children in the diaspora. They are therefore calling on all of Africa's children in the diaspora to come back home. The diaspora have heard the call from our leaders and are ready to answer the call. Welcome to Wakanda African Union African Diaspora Center of Excellence. Wakanda 1. Key issues the project seeks to address. 1. Lack of capacity in all developmental sectors. 2. Lack of access to healthcare and education. 3. Bad drugs for Africa. 4. Overseas healthcare. 5. Food sufficiency and food security. 6. Infrastructure development. 7. Housing. 8. Access to power. 9. Science and technology. Wakanda 1. The Center of Excellence will comprise of the following: 1,000-bed teaching hospital, a university and technical college, primary and secondary schools, daycare centers, 5-star hotels. 3. 5-star resort, Disney aka Wakanda Land Resort, Game Lodge aka Wakanda Lodge, pharmaceutical manufacturing plant, agricultural farm, parks and green space infrastructure and housing to support the development, shopping center, commercial office buildings, renewable energy power plant, 200-1000 MW in phases, monorail around the complex, free Wi-Fi roads that are ready to support self-driving electric cars. The development, the village will be smart with free Wi-Fi and roads that are ready for self-driving electric cars, monorails for easy transport around the village. Organization of the project. The AU Mission in Washington, D.C. has organized the diaspora who now belong to our African Union Diaspora Health Initiative, ODHI, which is a 501c3 non-profit organization. All fundraising activities will be done under this entity. A constitutive act for the diaspora in the Americas has been drafted and is currently being reviewed by the diaspora lawyers. Wakanda 1 will provide state-of-the-art healthcare facility using advanced medical technology and on-site pharmaceutical manufacturing. Services rendered will be by specialists from the diaspora working together with their counterparts on the continent. Skills transfer and capacity building is the main objective. Africa's future is bright. Africa is endowed with innumerable natural resources. The missing link to building the Africa we want is Africa's children in the diaspora. With their return, Africa is on the move. Phase 1. Hospital and university with the supporting housing development and infrastructure. Phase 2. Hotels, 3 5-star hotels, with the supporting development and infrastructure. Phase 3. Solar power supply. Phase 4. Agricultural farm. Phase 5 and 6. Theme park and game park. The African diaspora are committed to change the African narrative and strongly feel that a united African diaspora can bring the capacity that is needed to move Africa to its rightful place on the world stage.